Hello, BookTube. Not many packages in the mail haul this morning, but we end with a nice big box. So we'll see what that is. We'll start with this, though. What is this? Avishai Margalit on Betrayal. Oh, I got this. This is from Harvard. I got this in an advanced copy. This is due in early February. It's a philosophical tract on the concept of betrayal. Is it going to do it on its own? No. There we go. Not at all Steve's cup of tea, but we'll give it a try. I always, when I read them, I want to think, well, okay, you've read a ton of primary sources and a ton of literature in which betrayal features as a theme or a subject, and now you're writing a book about it. But why should I read your book over my own thoughts? It's not like you're developing an expertise. It's not like there's an abstruse collection of literature on betrayal that exists only in the Sandhurst Military Academy. No, it's just you have some thoughts on the subject. But sometimes those thoughts are interesting, so I do end up reading the books. Oh, okay, all right. This is another finished copy. This comes out in a week. This is When Crime Pays: Money and Muscle in Indian Politics. Decided to go with a more somber tone for the finished cover. But I read the advanced copy. I'll read this again, definitely. It's fact heavy, and it presents a pretty grim picture of government in India. It's a grimmer picture even than I knew when I lived there. Let's see, what's this? Another finished copy, maybe? Oh, great. Okay. This is another finished copy. This comes out in late February. This is Reporting War. How foreign correspondents risk capture, torture, and death to cover World War II. Because, of course, you can't have a Steve Mail haul without a World War II era book. It's just forbidden. God forbid I get science fiction or fantasy. God forbid I get more romance. But everybody knows that I love history and that I love particularly World War II history. So I get every single book that's published. It's absolutely fine by me. And then the box. What could this be? Will it be a lot of little things? Will it be one big thing? Oh, it's one big thing. Oh, good. Look at this. This is the House of Truth. Look at that, huh? That's by Brad Snyder. And the subtitle is a Washington Political Salon and the Foundations of American Liberalism, which might seem like the most abstruse subject in the world, but I'm thrilled to finally have a finished copy of this, because this is right up my alley. There has always been in Washington, D.C., up until just recently, there has always been, for 150 years, there has always been the salon culture, the salons, the powerful drawing rooms, where a lot of unofficial governing happened, and a lot of opinion making happened, and opinion changing happened. And it's an absolutely fascinating world. There are many, many books about it, many, many memoirs of it. It's a fascinating world because, for three reasons. One, it actually did affect policy up on the Hill, on Capitol Hill. Two, you see the great and mighty power brokers of the day letting their hair down over too much alcohol, going out on patios late at night, singing. You see them relaxing in a line of sight to where they work. And three, and best for me, because I've read all their books, it was a society ruled by women. The much feared phenomenon of the Washington hostess. This is where they gained their power. This is where they got their reputation for being powers behind the throne, and it's absolutely true. And this book deals with one of the most influential of them all during the Taft administration. Let me read this. In 1912, a group of young professionals, well-educated, decidedly ambitious, and disillusioned by the sluggish pace of change in the Taft administration. That isn't true. By pace of change you mean actual work done in terms of government, setting aside land for conservation, going after gigantic corporate trusts, increasing the social safety net, increasing the infrastructure of the country. If you mean any of those things, there was nothing slow about the Taft administration. Someday, the book will be written. Anyway, this group banded together informally, joining initially by their enthusiasm for former President Teddy Roosevelt's Bull Moose campaign. Uh, their headquarters was a row house on 19th Street near Washington's DuPont Circle, shared by Robert Valentine, Winifred Dennison, and a young lawyer named Felix Frankfurter. Uh, they baptized it the House of Truth, playing off the lively dinner discussions about life's verities. As Frankfurter recalled, almost everybody who was interesting in Washington sooner or later passed through the house, and that's absolutely true. It finally has a big new history. Oh. Frankfurter, the future Supreme Court justice, wasn't exaggerating. Journalist Walter Lippmann lived in the row house, and frequent guests included Justice Oliver Wendell Holmes, future Justice Louis Brandeis, as well as the sculptor and creator of Mount Rushmore, Guzman Borglum, among scores of others. The copywriter here leaves out writers, but there were plenty of writers. With vivid detail and narrative brio, Brad Snyder weaves together the stories and trajectories of these fascinating, idealistic, combative, and sometimes contradictory figures. Fantastic. So there has been, I imagine the author will mention it in his bibliography, there has already been a history of the House of Truth. Not alone, but it featured most prominently. And this, I hope, will improve on all of that. There are an enormous number of private records that you can find. You can go and read them. They're not published, they never will be, but you can. There are 2 libraries in Washington, and there are libraries. There's a library in New York, and there's a library in Boston that have just cardboard boxes full of material that you could consult. And I'm assuming that Brad Snyder consulted it all. It teaches constitutional law, civil procedure, 20th century American legal history, and sports law at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. Oh, Madison, Wisconsin. Oh, what a town. He has written 2 critically acclaimed books about baseball, including A Well-Paid Slave, Curt Flood's Fight for Free Agency in Professional Sports, and contributed articles to Slate and the Washington Post. For many years, he lived 2 blocks away from the House of Truth in Washington, D.C., where he and his family still reside. Okay, fantastic. So I'm assuming he's done the legwork. It sounds like he's the type of writer who has. So this should be fascinating. The phenomenon that it describes doesn't exist anymore. And it probably will never exist again. So this is, an epitaph as well as anything else. But still, it's the thing I'm most excited about. I never got an advance copy, so I'm the thing I'm most excited about in this particular little mail haul. What a thing to get in a box. So I'll wrap it up here, and I'll see you soon, book 2. Thank you.